Sarah Jeong, New York Times journalist who tweeted, "Cancel white people," is victim of dishonest trolls, claims former employer. "As a woman of color on the internet, I have faced torrents of online hate," says writer. Sarah Jeong, a technology journalist hired by the New York Times and vilified online for tweets comparing dumbass fucking white people to dogs and saying they would all go extinct soon, has been targeted for harassment by dishonest trolls, her former employer has claimed. Now, before I even go on with this article, I'm just going to say that I feel like if I went after her because she's Asian, I feel like I can't do that. And it's all because of the fact, that the catastrophe, that happened. Logan Paul went to Japan and harassed all those people. It was not good. So, therefore, I will not go after this woman. I'll try not to disagree with this woman on any point that she makes. It's why I didn't say anything to Rice Gum when he went to Hong Kong and did his thing. And to an extent, I won't say anything about Amos Yee, who I agree with on a number of issues. That number, of course, being 69, and the issues all being mental and who I want to do 69 with. Sarah Jeong, a technology journalist hired... Look, I'm not going to disagree with her on this point. And we are all going to go extinct very soon. Okay, well, not very soon. Because most men are treated like dogs by feminists. And they're feminist professors and people who agree with third-wave feminism. A straight white male who asserts his patriarchy is treated as a dog with rabies. Because, as you may or may not know, patriarchy is going to destroy us all. So, congratulations, you just paired up with the most radical of people. Good for you. Editors at The Verge, an online tech magazine, denounced what they called disingenuous criticism of Miss Jeong by people acting in bad faith. The senior writer had been the victim of a Gamergate-style campaign designed to divide and conquer by forcing newsrooms to disavow their colleagues, they suggested. Let me tell you who's doing the dividing and conquering. A fucking gay man dividing his boyfriend's butt cheeks in half and then going in and conquering the asshole. Sick fucks. Miss Jeong, 30, posted a string of offensive and apparently racist messages, including hashtag cancel white people and white men are bullshit. Up to 5 years ago, one tweet read, "Dumbass fucking white people mugging up the internet like dogs pissing on fire hydrants." First of all, hashtag cancel white people. I will agree with you on that one. Can we just make one change though? Hashtag cancel LGBT white people. I gotta be honest with you, any person, doesn't have to be white, doesn't have to be black, doesn't have to be any specific color, any person who changes their gender is just a disgrace. And, trans white people, or gay white people, I don't want them. I do not associate with gays and trans people. It's an embarrassment to white people everywhere. Well, I gotta be honest with you, again, mugging up the internet isn't as bad. White people mugging up the internet isn't as bad or as violent as black people mugging up the streets of Ferguson and destroying it. Anyway, after being uncovered, they quickly spread and were picked up by conservative media, including the Daily Caller and Gateway Pundit websites. Miss Jeong claimed the tweets were counter-trolling in response to torrents of online hate she had routinely received due to being a non-white woman online. Examples she gave included a tweet calling her a dog eat and another that said, "If I saw you, I would sock you in your lesbian face." If she is a lesbian, I believe she would enjoy a sock to her face because if you look, ready? You can see, open up the sock, and it's like a big vagina. So all you gotta do, disgusting. In a statement, she added, while it was intended as satire, I deeply regret that I mimicked the language of my harassers. These comments were not aimed at a general audience, because general audiences do not engage in harassment campaigns. I will disagree with you, again. Remember what Maxine Waters said? Blah, 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 harass Trump officials. Like it or not, that stroke victim lookalike does have followers. So yeah, people listen. I can understand how hurtful these posts are out of context, and would not do it again. Since the tweets were uncovered, she has suffered a wave of abuse, including racist language. The Verge issued a lengthy statement attacking those targeting Ms. Jeong, saying that during her tenure she had produced remarkable journalism, including difficult reporting on victims of harassment and abuse. Let me ask you a question. If you're so remarkable at doing journalism, why was it difficult for you to report on victims of harassment and abuse? Only a fucking dumb cunt of a woman could fucking make that up. The site said that the trolls engaged in this campaign are using the same disinformation tactics that exploded during Gamergate, a misogynist campaign that deluged female writers with death and rape threats over their coverage of video games. Actually, there is breaking news. Yes, I am receiving news right now that there is going to be another death and rape threat over video games. Right now. Oh my god, let's go live. Look, I said, if you were in Grand Theft Auto, I would totally hit you with a baseball bat and steal your wallet and your car. Wow. Real powerful stuff. Male gamers who disagree with criticism that was anchored in feminism posted writers' real-life details online, hacked their social accounts, and more. The Verge said, from cries about ethics in journalism to fake news, journalists have been increasingly targeted by people acting in bad faith who do not care about the work they do, the challenges they face, or the actual context of their statements. Online trolls and harassers want us, the Times, and other newsrooms to waste our time by debating their malicious agenda. They take tweets and other statements out of context because they want to disrupt us and harm individual reporters. I can't speak for everybody, but here's my malicious agenda. It includes, stop talking about Trump and Russia. That's not a real story. He's been president for 2 years, okay? I want the president, Donald Trump, I want him to be able to take funding away from sanctuary cities who don't obey the law, because that's a thing, in case you haven't heard. It's a real thing. Appeals court rules Trump can't withhold funds from California sanctuary cities. Also, part of my malicious agenda is to, is that Muslim ban still going on? Because that's part of my malicious agenda. I want that to stay there permanently. And the worst of all, I want people to not come in here illegally. I want people to come in here legally. Well, how malicious can you get? Jesus Christ. The strategy is to divide and conquer by forcing newsrooms to disavow their colleagues one at a time. This is not a good faith conversation. It's intimidation. No one wants anybody to disavow anyone. I'm disavowing the LGBT. I don't like them. I mean, again, I said this before. It's like, I want everybody to follow, the president's rule of law, which is, as you may or may not know, it's to, kick out the illegals and, just kick them out for now, and they have the option to come in the legal way. If you're not going to follow that procedure, if you're going to make it out to be some sort of, oh my god, he's kicking out everyone and their mother because they're different colors, and you're deliberately misrepresenting what the president says between illegal and legal, well, then we're not going to disavow you. We're just going to, severely wish you would change your mind. So we're not going to fall for these disingenuous tactics, and it's time other newsrooms learn to spot these hateful campaigns for what they are, attempts to discredit and undo the vital work of journalists who report on the most toxic communities on the internet. In a statement addressing the backlash, the paper said it had had candid conversations with Sarah as part of our thorough vetting process, including a review of her social media history. Her journalism and the fact that she is a young Asian woman have made her a subject of frequent online harassment. For a period of time, she responded to that harassment by imitating the rhetoric of her harassers, it added. She sees now that this approach only served to feed the vitriol that we too often see on social media. She regrets it, and the Times does not condone it. Again, I can't make this clear enough. The fact that you're an Asian, I am not going to make fun of you for that at all. But the fact that you think, reporting on the most toxic communities on the internet is the most important thing, yeah, I'm gonna make fun of you for that. You ever seen that episode of Family Guy when Peter becomes the school principal and Meg uses Peter because he is in position of power, so he goes and beats up the bully. That's what you're doing, Buster Brown. You're using your position as a journalist to attack and expose people who are just online, harassing people and saying mean things is bad, and yeah, you shouldn't do it. But it's definitely not an actual threat people should be devoting their time to. That's a little scary, to be honest. The fact that, the left, and it's all of the left, they want to allow a certain group of people that hates gay people, that literally in their scripture it encourages Muslims to kill gay people on the spot. The left wants to take that group of people and invite them over here. And you want to focus on internet comments? What are you even doing? The Times' decision to stand by Ms. Jeong contrasted with its approach to hiring Quinn Norton earlier this year, when it admitted it had not reviewed her previous social media activity. In that case, old tweets surfaced in which Ms. Norton used racial and homophobic slurs and declared her friendship with a neo-Nazi. Ms. Norton, who also writes about online culture, called the backlash to her messages context collapse. Following the furor over Ms. Jeong's tweets, Ms. Norton posted, "I don't think any Topinion made the right call firing me, though I understand that they panicked and don't bear them ill will at all, really. But I hope they have learned to only fire people for cause, not social media fishing for out-of-context tweets." So again, they hired someone. They let Miss Jeong keep her job, but they fired someone for doing the same thing. It's like when a woman sleeps with a man and then regrets it the next day and then she cries rape.